St. Louis Cardinals.
Palestinian protesters were angry about it early this morning in the nation's capital.
Hundreds of police officers cleared the encampment here at George Washington University about 2 weeks after it began. The statue of George Washington remains defaced, but at least 35 protesters were arrested.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson near the campus. Another encampment broken up also in New York City. In the war in Gaza that's being protested, Israel's reopened one border crossing, allowing humanitarian aid for Palestinian civilians.
But the vital Rafah checkpoint remains closed after it was seized by an Israeli tank brigade. People there still report heavy shelling in the area. Meanwhile, CIA Director William Burns is back in Egypt to resume talks on a pause in the fighting.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Former President Trump doesn't have to go to court this morning in New York. It's an off day at a trial after Stormy Daniels' testimony about the alleged sexual encounter he paid her to keep quiet about before the 2016 election, but he wasn't impressed.
Their case is totally falling apart. They have nothing on books and records, and even something that should bear very little relationship to the case. It's just a disaster.
He denies the charge of falsifying records and the payments to Daniels. The Trump classified documents federal trial that was supposed to start this month is on hold indefinitely over several legal disputes in that case.
Judge Eileen Cannon has set some deadlines, many deadlines, at least a dozen going on late into the summer, pushing the trial back at least until the end of July.
Fox's David Spunt. There's tornado damage in Michigan. A FedEx facility was hit hard, trapping workers inside for a short time. Lauren Coomer with Fox 17 TV standing near debris strewn about in Pavilion Township, not far.
A mobile home community that was hit as well. About 16 to 20 homes were destroyed in there. Thankfully, this morning, the only injuries that we're hearing of
America's
are very
listening
minimal.
to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
The latest pro-Palestinian protest encampments broken up on college campuses in Washington and New York came hours after President Biden spoke out about all that anti-Israel unrest at a Holocaust remembrance event.
Too many people are denying and downplaying the atrocities of the Holocaust and Hamas's brutal attack on Israel on October 7th, President Biden says.
It's absolutely despicable, and it must stop.
The president singled out Jewish students on college campuses facing harassment and threats.
We've seen a ferocious surge of anti-Semitism in America and around the world.
The Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights is sending every school district and college in the country guidance on anti-Semitism that could spark federal investigations amid a sharp increase in complaints. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
They finished an underwater mission in Baltimore. They found the final body of the 6 construction workers killed when the bridge they were on was hit by a cargo ship collapsing that bridge in March.
Maryland State Police say salvage teams found the body, later identified as 37-year-old Jose Minor Lopez. The bridge collapse remains under investigation. Salvage crews have cleared temporary routes in the Patapsco River so some ships can access the port of Baltimore, but the container ship that hit the bridge remains in the channel. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down modestly before today's trading. In the NBA playoffs, Boston beat Cleveland 120-95. Oklahoma City topped Dallas 117-95 in second-round opening games. Dallas's hockey team also lost a second-round opener. The Colorado Avalanche beat the Stars 4-3 in overtime. There was double OT in New York.
Panarin's shot blocked by Slavin. Follow-up is free. They score!
Vincent Trocheck won it for the Rangers, beating Carolina 4-3 on ESPN to go up 2-0 in that NHL playoff series. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. The Asian longhorn tick is in Illinois. It's the 20th state to discover the invasive species. The tick found April 12th during a routine active tick surveillance in Morgan County. Additional surveillance in the area April 24 discovered 2 additional Asian longhorn ticks, which are capable of carrying tick-borne diseases. Federal jury convicting a Champaign woman of conspiracy to distribute meth. Elia Turner sentenced in September after she was found guilty last Friday. Prosecutors say the government presented evidence Turner transported those drugs to central Illinois. Turner would then distribute the meth to others for a profit in the state. The Illinois Senate advancing a plan that would provide more educational opportunities for younger people serving time with the Department of Corrections. The Senate approved a measure that would require the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice to establish an emerging adult program for prisoners ages 18 to 21. The bill now moves to the House. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you, and good morning. It is May 8th. This is Wednesday, and a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
And the weather guy's going to tell us some stuff's rumbling out there. Is that kind of what I'm understanding here, Mr. Meteorologist?
Yes, yes. But hopefully, and we expect again, probably most of the action, the rougher stuff, remains south of Champaign County. That's the thinking for now, sir.
Okay, all right. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by Carl.
Carl wants to remind you there's 6 signs of stroke, and you should remember, be fast. Balance lost, eyes blurred, face drooping, arms weak, slurred speech, and terrible headache. If you experience something and you need more information, visit carl.org/stroke.
All right, that's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. That's Greg Solier. All right, tell me what's happening today, partner.
Well, yeah, beautiful morning out there. The air has at least temporarily dried on out from some of those dew points that were into the 60s. And as expected, most of the stuff due in the old Champaign split yesterday afternoon and evening time. Rougher stuff up through Michigan, northern and eastern Indiana, and parts of Ohio redeveloping as we speak, where flood watches and severe thunderstorm watches are already up in effect. Kansas City down to Carbondale, back west to the southeastern parts of Kansas, and storms are already flaring up again south of Kansas City, St. Joe. 58 at Willard and Savoy, now 57 at Rantoul, same at Danville, and over at Bloomington, Normal. And so it'll go like this. We'll kind of build clouds here for this morning. A stray shower may fire up to our west and south later this morning. Then a couple of showers and thunderstorms, coverage probably over about 50 or 60% of the area during the course of the afternoon. And again, I think all the heavy weather regarding heavy downpours and severe weather should be lurking south and southeast of Champaign County. Highs up to about 82. Humidity you'll climb. You'll feel that on a south breeze. Scattered showers, thunderstorms around early and again after midnight tonight. Lows down to about 57. Windy, cooler days worth of weather tomorrow. Clouds stuck in the mid to upper 60s much of the day with a couple of showers around for the morning and more so in the afternoon. Those move out tomorrow night. We'll bottom out in the 40s and we start this drier spell. Not completely, but a drier spell for Friday and in through at least the mid part of next week. Up to 66 on Friday. Could be a stray shower, maybe a gusty thunderstorm, probably north of Champaign at best Saturday afternoon. Highs up to 72. Much of the area will get missed on that particular weather system. Then dry for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, probably Wednesday next week as well. High temperatures will range through the 70s with upper 40s and 50s at night. For Stevie J Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solier.
Director of Policy and Government Affairs for American Principles Project and GOP strategist is John Schweppe. Where are you, John?
Well, right now, actually, I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I traveled out here to go to Jim Banks' victory party. He's about to be a U.S. Senator, which is pretty, again, heading back to D.C. after this.
Well, just stay away from George Washington University, 4 blocks from the White House. I guess they cleared that out. That encampment's gone as of 3:30 this morning.
Yeah, I think the left's getting a little bit sick of their crazies. They recognize they have an election to win, so.
All right, John Schweppe, we begin with, well, what can I say?
Who we better be careful about. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the President to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with who are training up in the hills somewhere.
Maxine Waters, another best of, another hits record album coming. What the world is she talking about? Training up in the hills? John, define.
So I'm trying to figure out if she's talking about these policy nerds at Heritage Foundation, going out to shoot shotguns or whatever. But man, she will back on her meds. This is somebody who seriously has called for violence repeatedly. This is a case where she's obviously projecting those lust on Republicans. But seriously, actually probably one of the craziest members of Congress.
Well, she's the one who said, get up in their face. Tell them they're not welcome.
That's right.
Get up in their face. I mean, that was back in the day. And, she's a piece of work. So they think there's going to be violence if Trump loses. What about if Biden loses? I mean, how many Antifa and Black Lives Matters things like that are they going to have? I mean, listen, there's no easy path here, is there, John?
No, we recognize that they think Trump is Hitler, and so they are all the stops to try to prevent him from winning. We actually just saw that last week. Google censored one of Trump's campaign ads on their platform. We know all the stuff happened in 2020. It's going to happen again in 2024. And the key is just being prepared, and the American people will stand with us and do everything they can to stop it.
Okay, so what is your take on where we are with the Donald Trump? We got the courtroom, the salacious stuff. This is just unprecedented in American history, what they're putting Donald Trump through in this case.
Yeah, this lawfare, completely wrong. But, I think that the American people are seeing through that. You look at it, why did they vote Biden in 2020? I think a big part of it was folks wanted to return to normal. And they didn't get that, right? Ultimately, prices are higher. Joe Biden, who we thought was maybe a moderate, is actually pretty extreme. And so now, I think people are rejecting that. You see it in the polls. See Trump potentially winning some of these states, won in 2016 but lost in 2020. So we're pretty excited. I actually think he has a really good shot at winning. Just got to stay the course, and we'll see what the Democrats bag of tricks.
Well, I tell you what, it's we were talking yesterday trying to determine what the worst thing that has happened in the last 4 years, and frankly, it's debatable. I mean, there's a long list for me. I think Afghanistan was just horrendous for what it did to the United States and reputation, how we left people that trusted America for 20 years to die. How in the world? Yeah. And then you got Ukraine's a mess, and of course our border, the crime, inflation, poison. I mean, there's what's good. What's good about this whole thing, John?
No, it's really hard to point to much good. And meanwhile, while he's failing on all of those fronts, what's he doing? His emphasis has been on DEI and transgender stuff, right? I mean, it's totally disconnected from where the American people are. And again, I'm just optimistic. I think the people see that, and they're going to punish him for it, even if it is voting for Donald Trump. I think it could happen.
All right, John, how do people find you? What does your group do specifically day to day?
Our American Principles Project, we bill ourselves as the NRA for Families, so we engage in campaigns and elections. And you can find us on Twitter at AP Project, on the internet at AmericanPrinciplesProject.org.
John Schweppe, SCHWEPPE, appreciate your time. Good luck. Keep up the fight.
Hey, thanks so much.
On the Tamman's Towing phone line, it is 714 ESPN 93.5. Diane Ducey with sports headlines.
New York Mets on top yesterday. The final was 7-5 over the St. Louis Cardinals. We've got your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney. We have KMOX Day at the ballpark today, a 12:15 game against the Mets. Last night, things started promising with a 3-run first inning, but the Mets put up 6 in the 5th on the way to beating the Cardinals 7-5.
A painful game for the Cardinals and for Cardinal fans. Painful for Wilson Contreras, who broke his arm being hit on the forearm by a swing by J.D. Martinez. So that was some pain, but also Miles Michaelis having a very rough 5th inning. Cardinals had a couple of opportunities late, but they couldn't come up with the big hit.
They left the bases loaded 1 inning, had 2 on in the 9th inning with Burleson at the plate, and Burleson had one of the 3 home runs along with Donovan and Nootbaar, but Burleson struck out on a foul tip.
Some positives on the Cardinals side offensively, but giving up 7 runs on 14 hits, just too many.
Today, Sonny Gray will start on KMOX Day. He's 4-1. He'll be opposed by Jose Quintana, 1-3. We're on the air at 12:20. Ricky has the lineups at 12:05. We'll have the first pitch thrown by Sonny Gray at 12:15. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Good to see the Cubs win 3-2 over San Diego, especially with this bottom of the ninth hit from Michael Busch.
Michael Busch leads off the bottom of the ninth inning. Here's the pitch. A swing and a drive. Deep right center. It's got a chance. Cubs win the ball game. Michael Busch, a game-winning home run. Listen to this crowd.
Michael Busch sits on a breaking ball and rocks it into the right center field bleachers for a winner.
As heard on US 105.9, you're home for the Cubs.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Tampa Bay over the Chicago White Sox 5-1. So I guess Mystic Dan isn't signed up for the Preakness yet. He's got until Monday for that 3-year-old colt to, who won the Kentucky Derby, and it was 3 noses to the wire on that finish. So we're watching that story. Also for our Big Ten softball tournament in Iowa City, number 12 Illinois softball taking on number 5 Minnesota. That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Well, basketball is looking to play Duke. That's the word. We don't have anything official, but it looks like it's out there. It's not finalized or anything, but Illinois playing Duke in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Where we have won 2 very nice games in a row out there. We beat number 2 Texas, and then we beat number 11 Florida Atlantic.
Okay.
So if we get the Dukies, that'd be pretty good. Last time we played Duke, does anybody remember what happened? We beat them by 15 or 20 at Durham, North Carolina. We beat them out there during COVID.
I see.
There were no crowd, which was lovely.
Okay.
But anyway, Illinois basketball has 10 non-conference games they need to figure out. We got the Big Ten. We're going to play 10 on the road, 10 at home. That's 20. And then we're figuring out, Brad Underwood likes to play people. There's all kinds of reasons for postseason play and everything, and your RPI or whatever it's all called. They rank you based on your toughness of schedule. So you got to play some good ones, and Duke will be one of them, certainly.
Right.
But you got Missouri and Duke, the only 2 non-conference for sure. Missouri was awful last year. We beat them by 25, and they were 0-18 in the SEC. So they're coming off a really rough year, but I think they got some pretty good transfers that might help them coming in. But, yeah, Madison Square Garden. And, again, how's your team going to look?
Right.
How's who? How's your team?
Tomislav Ivicic.
Tomislav Ivicic.
We're still practicing.
Georgie Bashanzavili.
We got that one.
Yeah.
Took a while, though.
Anyway, it's going to be an all-new look, really. Ty Rogers, Dre Gibbs, Longhorn, the only 2 returnees from the Elite 8 team that we had so much fun with. And said so long to so many friends. Now we'll be watching the NBA draft here coming up in a month or so.
That's right.
All right, ESPN 93.5, our weather brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you, they've got kickball for adults. I'm hitting that hard, Stevie. I just love the idea. May 30th through July 15th. If you'd like to get an adult team together, a co-ed team, urbanaparks.org/register.
Have an intramural team.
I love it.
Former radio station team.
Yes.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, event and vicinity. And warmth and humidity, the story for the day-to-day in the next weather system on the move out of the Ozarks up through the Ohio. Probably the best likelihood of severe weather and very heavy rainfall to our east and south. Nonetheless, scattered showers, thunderstorms break out late morning, more so this afternoon. Partly sunny, up to about 82 on a south wind. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms early, a break, and then back in after midnight. Lows down to 57. Tomorrow, windy, turning cooler. Mostly cloudy skies. Still a couple of showers around for the morning and afternoon. Highs up to 67 and a gusty north wind for the afternoon. Clearing off late tomorrow night, lows in the 40s, partly cloudy 66 on Friday. Start of a drier trend for the weekend through a good part of next week, with readings up to about 72 and an afternoon shower thunderstorm chance on Saturday. Dry Sunday at 71. We're in the mid-70s next Monday and heading close to 80 degrees next Tuesday and Wednesday. Next chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms would be late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Soldier.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built
built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Reddit shares are up 14%. Its first earnings report as a public company was dramatically better than expected. The social network forum says its weekly active users rose 40%. Toyota is reporting a dramatically better quarter, helped by demand for hybrid vehicles, and the weaker yen makes its cars more affordable in other countries. It is buying back stock, though Toyota says it is seeing higher costs and sees a lower profit this year. The Wall Street Journal says companies are pushing back at the costs of running electric vehicles. Executives in the trucking industry tell the Journal battery electric rigs can't travel as far as diesel rigs, require several hours to recharge, and it can take years to install on-site charging facilities. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my podcast, Perino on Politics. While we were off to the horse races this weekend, now we're back to talking about presidential races. This week, I'm joined by Senior Vice President of CRC Advisors, Matt Whitlock, as we look at the candidates' performance thus far and what surprises could change the state of the race. Available now on Apple, Spotify, and FoxNewsPodcast.com.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Why use Lands Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Lands has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
That's right, Jesse. Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground. This is as no-brainer as a Stever offer today as it can get. I'm giving you 1 year's service calls of your air conditioning, furnace, sump pump, sinks, hot water. I mean, they're going to check everything.
Yeah.
And then you get discounts if you need
Boy, is that
anything.
peace of mind.
It's an Orange Comfort Family. Orange Family. What is it? Orange Comfort Club. The
Yes.
Comfort Club. The Orange Level.
That's it.
Comfort Club.
Mm-hmm.
With Lands, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground.
LandsInc.com to give you more details. But, yeah, they got you covered.
Yep. So what we'll do is, if you want me to take care of service for a year from Lands, it's $500, and I'm going to pay. So you would text in LANZ. I had a nice talk with Troy. I saw him at his new shop. He's a good man.
Yeah.
Troy's always been a good man.
So was it Forest, Illinois, where he started?
Strawn.
Right next door to
He could be the mayor of Strawn anytime he wants.
My days at EIU in the media, I worked with some people from Forest. So.
Forest Strawn Wing
Yes.
was at high school that now is something else. Forest Strawn Wing. Sounds like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Troy's a small town fella. Fairbury and all that area. But anyway, if you want, you text 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line. And it's like me standing on the corner handing you $500.
Yeah.
You see, why wouldn't you? I don't know.
Works out good for our listeners.
Well, again, you just take my money and then I'll pay for them. They'll set it up. They'll come see you and I'll change air filters and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the Stever offer here 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line. So it looks like we are getting ready for the big graduation.
Yes, we are.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
I think the duties today were 7,500 chairs or something to be set up in one, auditorium.
You ever been to one of those at the stadium?
I have.
Pretty big.
It is.
And then you try and spotlight somebody you're there for.
Uh-huh.
I remember Nathaniel went through the big one, and that was with the Geese fella.
Yes.
He was a speaker. And they're always good. Everybody's always good when they ask them to come to a commencement that big. But I'm just happy that the protesters and things like that, there was a disruption at Michigan when they talked about canceling the Michigan graduation, but they did not. And they a bunch of flags and stuff, and they get booed. Boo, they get all that. And with a lot of these protesters, I don't know what the point is. I guess it's to go viral. Because it's not to get anybody talked in. When you block traffic and you make people mad, they're not going to be empathizing with your position.
But you got the headline, and
you got the headline, but it's not. I guess any headline's good headline, is it?
Right.
In this case, is it?
Right. And see, I need to go back to and research the conversation about even if you're a bad headline, at least you're getting kind of points, and maybe you could get more money as a professional protester if you've taken any kind of media attention at all.
No, they say anything is attention. Like Donald Trump, how much of it is negative? A whole lot. He gets a lot of negative.
Well, and Kim Kardashian was on a panel. She's been trending a lot this week because of the Met Gala and the outfit that she wore and the cinched up corset and all that. And is she missing some ribs at the bottom? It was kind of a crazy outfit. So she's on this panel, and the Palestine protester, interrupted what she was saying. So would that protester then seize that clip and take it to the person paying them and say, look, I made this headline?
You appeal to other radicals. But if you're in the radical circle, you probably appeal to them anyway. I'm just not sure. If you're trying to convince people, screaming, shouting, swearing, and hitting police don't seem to be the path for me.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense, and people think you're crazy anyway. So it's called radical. And, you're talking about insurrections and all these other things. These people, and a whole bunch of us, it's not students, it's half of them are professionals. And they infiltrate.
They're not from our campus.
They agitate the 19-year-old who doesn't know better.
Right.
And so they're pros, they get paid to do this. It's a living. And so they have their own group, and, the group arguably is growing for sure. It's just, a lot of people in this country. And so we are setting up at Memorial Stadium for, I don't know who the big speaker is.
I was just clicking on that. It's 9:30 on Saturday at Memorial Stadium.
It's a good crowd there for that. It's really
I think
good.
they say about 2 hours on that. And
a lot of people walking in and out. It's a lot of folks. And
I've been to the State Farm Center to see that. My nephew Carl, when he graduated to I think it was computer science or something. And then some people are at Krannert Center, right? To get their...
You go to specific colleges.
Right, to get various diplomas.
Gracie was at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center. And, Christian, I think, was engineering. Benjamin was fine arts and graphic design. And that was at another building. And then Nathaniel was engineering, but also I think he did the big one. I think that's the only time we've been to the big one. But anyway, I'm just happy with all the protests going on and canceling the 5K and all that other stuff. We're business as usual. Thank you very much. And there'll probably be people waving flags. You're going to get that. Most
Architecture in the spotlight from 1986 alumni Jeannie Gang will be our speaker.
Okay. All right, very good. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday. Ed Martin, Brother Johnny coming up next on ESPN 93.5. This is May the 8th. This is Wednesday morning. Beautiful, but storms perhaps mostly to the south coming later today afternoon. All right, 7:28. Every month we celebrate law enforcement at Stevie Jay Broadcasting. Officer Sarah Lynx is our law enforcement official of the month from the Urbana Police Department. They say you're a star. Congratulations.
Ooh. Oh, thank you. I don't know about being a star, but I appreciate that.
Well, you've done this work for a number of years in your patrol.
I have. I've been with Urbana for 18. I've been doing this a total of 22 years.
What drew you to law enforcement?
Right. I always joke and tell people I never wanted to pick out my outfit every day, but actually, I just wanted to help people, and I like to problem solve, and I get a different problem every day to solve.
It's never the same.
It is never the same.
Keep up your great work. We certainly appreciate, the vast majority appreciate what police do.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for your support, because we do greatly appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you. Officer Sarah Links, our law enforcement official of the month, brought to you by MX Electric.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Pro-Palestinian protesters evicted.
We're on the corner of 21st and H Street, about 4 blocks from the White House at George Washington University, where that encampment was cleared by police at 3:30 in the morning. Hundreds of police officers, some of them deploying pepper spray to remove the protesters. We're told at least 35 protesters were arrested.
Fox's Lucas Thomas. No court today for Donald Trump in New York City. Adult film actress Stormy Daniels back on the stand tomorrow.
During her testimony, Stormy Daniels was clear on her feelings towards the former president. Trump's attorneys asking her, quote, "Am I correct that you hate President Trump?" And Daniels responding, "Correct."
Fox's Brooke Singman. The judge denied a mistrial motion concerning Daniels' testimony. The defense claim was explicit. The president travels to Racine, Wisconsin, then Chicago today. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign-Urbana Public Health confirming that a case of Rocky Mountain spotted fever recently confirmed in Champaign County. The illness is a tick-borne disease that the CDC calls one of the deadliest in the Americas. It takes 1 to 4 days to show symptoms of RMSF, which include a high fever, severe headache, muscle soreness, and gastrointestinal distress. A worker at a Paxton grain elevator heard Monday it followed an accident involving a skid loader. It happened at Ludlow Cooperative's facility in Paxton. David Kading, chief deputy of the Ford County Sheriff's Office, says the incident initially reported to be a grain entrapment, but responders arrived to find a different accident had occurred. Illinois Senate advancing a plan that would provide more educational opportunities for younger people serving time with the Department of Corrections. The Senate approved a measure that would require the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice establish an emerging adult program for prisoners ages 18 to 21. The bill now moves to the House. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. All right, we check our weather with our meteorologist, Greg Sawyer, with stuff to watch out for later today. Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Past few weeks have been rather wet, and how are your windows holding up? You might need some new ones. Kramer Siding and Windows can help. KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity, and warmth and humidity. The story for the day-to-day and the next weather system on the move out of the Ozarks up through the Ohio. Probably the best likelihood of severe weather and very heavy rainfall to our east and south. Nonetheless, scattered showers, thunderstorms break out late morning, more so this afternoon. Partly sunny, up to about 82 on a south wind. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms early, a break, and then back in after midnight. Lows down to 57. Tomorrow, windy, turning cooler, mostly cloudy skies. Still a couple of showers around for the morning and afternoon. Highs up to 67 and a gusty north wind for the afternoon. Clearing off late tomorrow night, lows in the 40s, partly cloudy, 66 on Friday. Start of a drier trend for the weekend through a good part of next week, with readings up to about 72 and an afternoon shower thunderstorm chance on Saturday. Dry Sunday at 71. We're in the mid-70s next Monday and heading close to 80 degrees next Tuesday and Wednesday. Next chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms would be late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
It's Wednesday. Wednesday. Hit the music. President of the Eagle Forum Legal Defense Fund, Phyllis Schlafly, the great Equal Rights Amendment defender. Conqueror. It's Ed Martin. Ed Martin. He is
hey.
Good to have you back, my friend.
Great to be with you.
Ed, I think I saw you on the TV taking down the George Washington University tents at 3:30 a.m. Good work.
Well, thank you. I did my part. Yeah.
Brother Johnny on the road this morning, headed toward Indianapolis. Johnny.
Hey, Stevie J. Good morning. I'm on 32, headed to Lebanon. But I pulled over a brand new casing. So here we are, Eddie.
Good to have you both here. We begin with the great Maxine Waters. Remember this?
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Thank you, Maxine. And now she's at it again, worried about a Joe Biden victory.
Who we better be careful about. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the president to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere.
They're up in the hills, Ed. I didn't know where they were. They're in the hills. I knew that. And they have the hay straw thing and the whole rifle and cannons and stuff. Of course, man. I mean, she's a piece of work.
No.
I mean, man.
First of all, protecting us against Maxine Waters. Start there, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. I think the one thing I would say about it, though, guys, is that if you watch closely, you see the Democrats talking. They have certain talking points now, and their talking points are, first of all, they're saying it's a close race. There was a poll yesterday that said that, Biden's up by 5. There's no polls that are saying that. No, and now they're saying, maybe polls aren't reliable. Maybe polls don't. But it's close race. It's close race. And, back to what Johnny's been talking about for years now is, if they're going to steal it, they're going to have to make it look like it works, right? And so they're also talking about how the threats are coming from the right somehow. When the left is burning college campus, it's kind of, you kind of shake your head. It's this projection. They project onto others what they're doing, and so I'm a conservative. I'm actually probably more conservative than most. I have never met, and I ran the Republican Party. I was on the RNC, all this stuff. I have never met a white supremacist. I mean, I've been in the hills in Missouri, and I never met a white supremacist. I never met a militia that was training in the hills. And but if you say it over and over again, some portion of the country is going to believe it, and that's the game they're playing.
Well, and if you want to talk about a threat, right now the progressives are basically in charge, Stevie. They want us to believe that a man can have a baby, and I start here because it's the simplest thing, that a man should play on a girls' sports team because when he says he's a woman, he becomes a woman. And we have judges across the country that are saying you have to let this new woman play because you're discriminating against women if you don't, even though she's actually a man in reality. If they want to live as a woman, that's okay. They just can't play on the girls' team. Now, okay, that's just an issue that I go back to illustrate. Are you thinking about what's going on? Because to me, Eddie, that's a threat. Now, that's when those people who have determined that a guy can announce and transfigure into a woman are running the show, we're in trouble. You would think things would just start falling apart, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, they are. So, I mean, Johnny and I were talking about this yesterday, Ed. What's good? What's working on this spacecraft right now? What do you seriously? What is the good that has come out of this administration? I'm really open to ideas.
Well, not the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't want to focus on that. So
boy, not good.
Yeah, no. Let's look. That's one of the things, though, that I find a little hard to to take, even as I advocate so strenuously against what Biden is doing. I mean, the people in this country are still great, and they're still ready for the right things. I mean, and they're ready to do the right things and be the right things. You know, I've been listening to, on my drive to work, to an audible of Dr. Ben Carson, his book, Think Big. And when you hear that guy talk about what he saw and sees in America, that's still here. You know, now we're suffocating lots of it with things like massive inflation and social media that's, you know, really damaging our kids and ourselves. So, you know, we've got to be clear-voiced about those problems. But, you know, I just think that the people, you meet people, and you're like, hey, this is going to be okay. Now you listen to the TV and the radio and social media, and you think the world is falling. So I do think that the psychology of leadership might be more important than ever, and it's a little bit of a trick. I think Trump is an optimist, and so when he gets in, if he's president again, I think the economy will take off and things will happen, but a third or 40% of the country will be beside themselves because they'll be conditioned to be brainwashed to think that something bad is happening. So it is a problem. Like, you know, we have to figure out how to break this brainwashing sort of one by one, I guess.
Well, and as far as something good, I did hear that Joe wants to reduce marijuana from a level 1 drug to a level 3, which is much, it's like Tylenol or something. So, which I'd have to agree with, because number one, some states have it legal and the feds can still prosecute you. And number two, I think many would agree that no matter who wins, maybe we should all start smoking pot. Eddie?
Well, I didn't know where you were. I didn't know where you were going with that, because I was going to put on my, Dr. Carol Martin, my wife, about every week or so, she says to me, do you know how stupid it is that everybody is allowing everybody to smoke marijuana? She's like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then I got to tell you guys, in places like Washington D.C., every other block has one of these. What do they call them? The pot selling storefronts. I mean,
dispensary.
Dispensaries. It's insane.
But Eddie, that makes sense, because if I lived in Washington D.C., I'd probably smoke pot.
That's true. It's a fair point.
It's Brother Johnny, Ed Martin, ESPN 93.5, 742. Okay, so I don't know how to say this, but I really agree with a lot of what John Fetterman's saying these days.
We can't ever forget, they are the ones that started this, and they're the ones that broke that ceasefire, and they did the most terrible things to babies, children, women, tortured, mutilating, systemic rape. Israel actually cares about minimizing those civilian deaths, but Hamas sees that as just their own kinds of collateral damage.
He was on with Brett Baer last night. First of all, he's recovered from a stroke really well. And John Fetterman sounds good to me.
Well, no, I got to say that one thing, I think he's half crazy in terms of his policies, and what he wants to try to do, I don't think is healthy. But I got to give him credit, Eddie, because he is not reading the script, and he generally is just going to say what he thinks. And there's just not that many at any level that are doing that. And so Trump's one of them. I'm not going to compare Fetterman to Trump. But he usually does say what he thinks, and he doesn't really care what anybody thinks of him, it doesn't appear.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but I mean, I got to tell you guys, at this point in our history in this country, and with all respect to probably some listeners in your audience that are Democrats, the Democrat Party is truly evil, and what it's doing is destroying the country and destroying people. And so Fetterman says this kind of junk, and I agree with him. It sounds good. What he's really doing is trying to win and hold on in Pennsylvania, and he's trying to help his fellow Senator Bob Casey, who claims he's a lifelong Catholic, claims he's truly pro-life himself, like Joe Biden, except that he votes for everything that is for killing the babies and destroying the country. So I don't see conspiracies everywhere. I don't think Fetterman is necessarily in a conspiracy, but I do think it's convenient for him in this cycle to then he's going to come out in 3 months and campaign for Joe Biden and Senator Bob Casey in Pennsylvania. And he's building credibility with groups that he can say, look, I'm I'm a thoughtful guy here. And, as we're savaging your Senate candidate, Republicans, this guy McCormick, as being, an outsider or whatever they're going to call him, stick with me. I'm a straight talker. It's a little more like John McCain. John McCain was a fraud. I mean, now he's dead, and I hope that he's out of purgatory and in heaven, but I don't know. But, I mean, he was a fraud. He was a lying, fraudulent human being as a senator. When he didn't vote to get rid of Obamacare, it was because he showed that at the end of his life, he was a fraud. So you can't say that easily about people. I know, but I just can't stand to watch Fetterman pretend he's on the side. These Democrats are slaughtering babies. They're destroying children. Their genitals are being chopped off because of Democrats, and they're leading us into world war. So I don't have much time for him telling me how he's thoughtful.
Well, I'll tell you, you make a point, but the Democrats wouldn't shoot a mean dog, at least.
Wow! Listen, you're talking about Christian Nome, Johnny. I don't politically. I don't get it. I just, yeah.
Well, so she's a kind of a threat because she's a attractive woman, very intelligent, quite conservative, or common sense I call it. I don't even use conservative anymore. You don't need to. But she did shoot a dog that was kind of, I think she was worried he's going to bite someone. She didn't like the dog, so she put it down, and they've just made it an absolute national issue. It's amazing.
Well, and then there's some haze around meeting Kim Jong-un. Again, how does that make the book? I'm just curious. I like her, but I think she's probably going to be on the outs after all.
I don't know, Steve. There again, Eddie, you get that huge blip of publicity. Most things you remember positive. She's been kind of in the weeds, and they think they're canceling her, but it doesn't work that way. It just really doesn't. The Democrats pointed it out. There's no such thing as bad publicity in politics. I think the same thing's happening to Trump in a way, Stevie. So this and that. And, well, he didn't do this. Well, they're going to delay that. Well, and it's just Trump. And I think in this day with no real focus, Eddie, I think that all ends up as it goes into the rearview mirror. It actually helps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Kristi Noem was never a serious candidate for VP, guys. I mean, I think I told you that. If I didn't, she's got baggage besides killing her dog and killing goats and telling stories. I actually think she ought to shoot her ghostwriter, because whoever ghostwriter wrote that book, he or she did not tell Kristi Noem, and Kristi Noem didn't read it. I mean, if she read her book, she would have said, well, I never met Kim Jong-un. So I actually have published things, I shouldn't admit this, that I read quickly and realized after, somebody after me edited it in a way that I didn't catch. So I'm not entirely unsympathetic, but she's done as a VP, but she was never there. I do think, guys, though, that I will say this, and I think this is an indictment of our country and our culture. If you killed your family dog, I mean, they're boycotting. Republicans are boycotting her. You can slaughter, your neighbor can slaughter his baby at 8 months, and you'll say, well, that's his choice, and that's her choice. You know what I mean? They'll be in utero, obviously. We're in a world where love of dogs and cats, and by the way, I have 2 dogs. I love them more than most people. I mean, I really do. They're really good. They are. I tell people God put in dogs the physical manifestation of love. They don't care how stupid I am. They don't care if I'm fat. They don't care what I ate. They just are going to lick me, and I'm going to feel good about it. So, but right now we got more people that love their dogs and love their cats. Go to Instagram. You'll see dogs hugging cats on Instagram day and night. And we're having a population that doesn't want to have kids because, you know what? They talk back. I got 4 teenagers. That's all they do is talk back. So our culture is in a spot where we're in trouble, which is my way to segue, guys. As I predicted months ago, Dr. Ben Carson will be the vice presidential nominee.
I think you're right. I think that he makes the point, Steve. It's a symptom that's been such a issue about a dog. But I do think Kristi Noem could replace either South Dakota senator, and we'd be very happy. And that's about all she can do. Yeah. And in South Dakota, Eddie, I don't think the dog thing is as big a deal. Maybe in
No, it's not in normal places. By the way, Hey, Stevie J, you know this is because Johnny spent some time with Christy Nome. We haven't covered this. He was hanging out with her a few months ago. And I think
we're friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just want to point that out. When I said she had baggage, I was like, yeah, you know, the Louisiana baggage. Johnny's been texting her a lot, you know.
Well, it looks like the shooting of her 14-year-old month pup Cricket
14 months old, yeah,
and came after the dog killed the neighbor's chickens or something.
Yeah, with livestock, it was probably a dangerous animal. Just
right,
Hold it. They were just flying around in the Fed because it's the wildlife and fisheries, shooting coyotes from a plane. They got 39 of them because they're after the cattle. And they're somewhat like a dog, a coyote. And so,
Johnny, the dog thing, you kind of lost me on the dog thing.
Your dog killed. You can take it to the vet and put it down.
No, right, but the judgment of taking it to a gravel pit, shooting it, then going while you're at it and grabbing the goat you don't like and shooting.
That's right.
Listen,
the goat was disgusting.
I'm coming from a perspective. I couldn't shoot anything unless it was attacking me or my family.
It's the wild, wild west, Stevie. You're talking the wild, wild west.
But also, I want to say this. I mean, isn't that why you get married if you're a woman, so your husband will shoot the dog? I mean, this is what I mean. I don't want to sound sexist here, but I mean that's clearly a problem. I think she's a feminist, Johnny. See, Johnny's defending her. It's getting sad.
It looks like she's bringing up Biden's dog Commander and 24 Secret Service people being attacked by Biden's dog.
Well, the jokes are just unending. Like Greg Gutfield is,
right.
Oh my goodness.
Saturday Night Live this week.
I'll tell you, though, I got to tell you this. It's a shame that the comedians can't unleash on the progressives because you could see what they did with the dog thing, which is hilarious. If they could only just let themselves make jokes about we would be better off. It would be better if we would joke about some of the stuff going on, and they won't
release the tension.
We need Rickles. We need Don Rickles.
Oh, Don Rickles. Well, he couldn't play today. And how can people find Ed Martin?
Well, actually, you know, guys, I wrote a piece on this topic I called it fake comedy. There was an admission in Politico, and so if you go to proamericareport.com, you'll see my daily email that goes out the wink. And I wrote on that subject. I was saying that you're exactly right, especially late-night TV. They actually won't go after half of the population, and they're in power now, the Democrats. So it is a shame, and it is, but it's an indication that even comedy is fake. Mm-hmm. So proamericareport.com and phyllisschlafly.com for all her great works. And then I'm over on X, at Eagle Ed Martin. Putting up a good fight.
Johnny, be safe. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate both of you. Thank you. It's Brother Johnny and Ed Martin on ESPN 93.5, where they live on the Tapman's Towing phone line. ESPN 93.5 with your check of weather, brought to you this morning by Watts Copy Systems. You want a free solution for maybe some of your office problems and equipment. They're happy to give you a free estimate at 217-352-0428 for Watts Copy Systems.
So we'll get everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign event and vicinity, and warmth and humidity. The story for the day-to-day and the next weather system on the move out of the Ozarks up through the Ohio. Probably the most likely of severe weather and very heavy rainfall to our east and south. Nonetheless, scattered showers, thunderstorms break out late morning, more so this afternoon. Partly sunny, up to about 82 on a south wind. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms early, a break, and then back in after midnight. Lows down to 57. Tomorrow, windy, turning cooler, mostly cloudy skies. Still a couple of showers around for the morning and afternoon. Highs up to 67 and a gusty north wind for the afternoon. Clearing off late tomorrow night, lows in the 40s. Partly cloudy, 66 on Friday. Start of a drier trend for the weekend through a good part of next week, with readings up to about 72 and an afternoon shower thunderstorm chance on Saturday. Dry Sunday at 71. We're in the mid-70s next Monday and heading close to 80 degrees next Tuesday and Wednesday. Next chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms would be late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com. Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business. All righty, it is our friend Steve Suderman. Good vibes, over 50 years of your TVs and sound and the 8-foot television that hangs like a picture frame. What the heck is that? Unbelievable. How are you?
Hey, I'm pretty good this morning. We are in week 2 of No Pay May, and I mean, have you seen interest rates lately? We're not waiting on the Fed. We're going ahead with 0% on everything for 12 months. That means you can get an LG 65-inch OLED delivered for $146 a month. Put that on your credit card, it's going to be 29% if you don't pay it off in 30 days. A Sony 85-inch Sony, $91 a month all in. That's an 85. So I could go on, but you get the idea.
And how is it? If you apply and it hits your credit report, is it hard to get financing for stuff like this?
No, it's very easy. You know, if you declared bankruptcy, you got a issue there because you got to go through a check.
It's pretty loose. Gears. Pretty loose. You don't get turned away much.
Not much, no. The estate sale that we got some stuff from. You should go to gvibes.com and click on the Use tab. We got the clipsless Scalas, the Anthem receiver, a bunch of stuff that was very audiophile grade quality that's in immaculate condition. A fellow passed away, and the widow asked us to sell the stuff for her. You should see this stuff; it's great. I'm trying not to buy it myself because I want to stay married. And if you have any trouble getting on our website because your internet is lousy, you owe it to yourself to check out T-Mobile because they have put radio towers that get the 5G in DeSoto and Oakwood and Rossville and Georgia. I mean, just all over the place. You can get for $60 a month really, really fast internet, and you can get that through us.
Hey, so off the page just a little bit. I heard DirecTV's doing something without dishes anymore. How's that technology work where I don't need a dish?
Another thing to do with streaming. Wow. So it's just the DirecTV complement of channels. You get a little device that comes with your subscription, plugs into your television, and boom, bing, you get, the Cardinals, for example.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. All right, so, again, we can come into Good Vibes Round Barn next to the driver's license facility, and you do have an 8-foot TV that is shown. I can go see it?
8'2", but who's counting?
I mean, that's Robert Wadsworth. You remember? That's kind of a trivia.
Okay. Yeah.
Tallest human ever, but he's from Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was 8'2".
Whoa.
And he didn't live long. He had a pituitary or something issue, but I've seen a picture of him.
Has to be something wrong with that.
Well,
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, Andre was like 7'5", I think. But,
okay.
But anyway, yeah, we just got a 7'1" guy. What do you think of that?
That's right.
Come on, man. That's awesome. Brad, what's this team going to look like? We need to get an 8'2" television to make sure we know.
I have no idea. I don't think Brad does either right now.
Hey, so the cool thing about Good Vibes is the prices are about the same everywhere, except you have experienced guys that can come put that on. I can't put an 8'2" TV on my wall. I can't do it. So
Nope. That's a 3-person job.
Well, when Steve was unloading boxes, there was a group called Chicago that's coming to State Farm later this month. And he was listening and jamming out this Saturday in the park, man. It's my kind
South
of music.
California Purples, right? Something like that.
Is that what they were called?
Okay.
It was a song off the first album.
Oh, okay. I got
This one was from 73.
Man, that's back in the early days when you had those sleeveless shirts working, baby, letting those puppies air out. Come on, big arm.
yeah.
Come on, man, you got it. Hey, listen, how can people find you?
Call us up at 3510909. Visit us at 2010 Round Barn or see us on the web at gvibes.com.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Stevie.
Steve Suderman, Good Vibes. That's where you shop, locally owned over 50 years. All right, you go to the big box store. You go compare the prices.
I know it.
It's about the same, and you don't have any service, and you're keeping a local business going.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm not doing nothing but playing this till the top. We'll be right back. Nate Foy is outside the Donald Trump courthouse, and he's been reporting on the salacious stuff. I'm thankful it wasn't on the TV, but it was stuff that had nothing to do with anything except embarrass Donald Trump. Terrible. We'll be right back.
Chicago, May 29th, by the way. State Farm Center, 57th consecutive year of touring.
That's amazing.
Wow.
ESPN. We'll be right back. You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's happened again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Police clashed with pro-Palestinian protesters.
Why are you in riot gear?
That was early this morning in D.C., where Fox's Lucas Tomlinson is near George Washington University.
All is calm here outside the encampment, but a far different story at 3:30 when the decision was made to clear the encampment. Police had to use OC spray or pepper spray. In fact, our cameraman Ed got some of that when he was downwind of that.
There were 35 arrests. Hoping to stop the war being protested, CIA Director William Burns is in Israel and just met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He's trying to broker ceasefire talks. The U.S. has warned Israel against going after Hamas militants in Rafah, an area of Gaza where Palestinian civilians have been urged to flee. That's prompted a delay in an American shipment of bombs to Israel.
As a matter of course, the administration won't comment on specific sales and transfers of weapons, National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby says, but tells reporters
our commitment to Israel's security remains ironclad.
Reports say shipments of precision-guided munitions have been delayed at least 2 weeks.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. There's news on 2 Trump criminal trials. The one in the federal classified documents case is on hold indefinitely as both sides keep battling over legal issues. In New York, it's an off day at the former president's trial where Stormy Daniels' testimony got steamy, detailing an alleged sexual encounter he paid her to be quiet about before the 2016 election.
That's an affair that former President Trump denies. Daniels explained in graphic detail, and Trump's lawyers claim that the jury heard testimony that was unnecessary and unrelated to the charges that Trump faces in this case, so they asked for a mistrial. Judge Juan Merchan denied that request, but agreed that Daniels' testimony went a bit too far.
Fox's Nate Foy, the president's charged with falsifying records. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Police in Washington, D.C. broke up that pro-Palestinian encampment at George Washington University hours before the university's president and Mayor Muriel Bowser testify at a House hearing investigating response to the demonstrations. Another hearing at the Capitol today. Conservatives will put National Public Radio under scrutiny, though its CEO won't testify, saying she has a scheduling conflict.
The House panel is investigating what it believes is ideological bias at NPR, saying it has jurisdiction because the network receives federal funding. The hearing is prompted by complaints of bias by a now former senior business editor there. CEO Catherine Maher, however, promising she'll appear at another time. She denies bias. NPR says less than 1% of its budget comes from the government. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
There's a new tool in the fight against cancer.
Researchers at the University of Florida have been working on a new cancer mRNA vaccine that retrains the body's immune system to attack and potentially treat glioblastoma, the most common malignant brain cancer. It was published in the journal Cell. The small study was done on just 4 people, using participants' own tumor cells to create a personalized vaccine for their particular cancer. Researchers say within 48 hours, the vaccine reprogrammed patients' immune system to attack the cancer. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures have been falling before the opening bell. In the NBA playoffs, a thunderous dunk.
Wiggins, Cutter, Holmgren! Major elevation!
Chet Holmgren helped lead the Oklahoma City Thunder past the Dallas Mavericks, 117-95 on TNT. The Boston Celtics also won the opening game of their second round series, beating Cleveland 120-95. Hockey's playoffs went into overtime. Colorado beat Dallas 4-3. The New York Rangers topped Carolina 4-3 in double OT. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois Senate advancing a plan that would provide more educational opportunities for younger people serving time with the Department of Corrections. The Senate approved a measure that would require the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice establish an emerging adult program for prisoners ages 18 to 21. The bill now moves to the House. Champaign-Urbana Public Health confirming that a case of Rocky Mountain spotted fever recently confirmed in Champaign County. The illness is a tick-borne disease that the CDC calls one of the deadliest in the Americas. It takes 1 to 4 days to show symptoms of RMSF, which include a high fever, severe headache, muscle soreness, and gastrointestinal distress. A worker at a Paxton grain elevator heard Monday it followed an accident involving a skid loader. It happened at Ludlow Cooperative's facility in Paxton. David Kading, chief deputy of the Ford County Sheriff's Office, says the incident initially reported to be a grain entrapment. When responders arrived to find a different accident had occurred. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
ESPN 93.5.
If people could only see sometimes the other side of the microphone.
Well,
during
sometimes
the show.
we do have fun. We ought to keep.
Oh yeah, we have a show going on.
Well, you can also watch us, but you can't hear us.
True,
which is probably safe.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Weather Dude. My wife and daughter are flying to Chicago and then flying to Champaign at 3:40. So I'm hoping the weather doesn't mess that up.
Yeah, I think we'll be kind of, okay. I don't think we'll have the coverage, the intensity around here. I think it may be a different story, south of here, closer to I-70. Matter of fact, there are already severe thunderstorm watches, flood watches over. They've literally gone from a drop to a flood from St. Louis to Kansas City to the Ozarks and back to St. Louis in that area there. So I think that's going to track south and southeast, but we will bubble up a couple of showers and thunderstorms here, and pilot guys should be able to maneuver through it here, and probably not much to speak of until tonight, north of the Kankakee up toward the Chicagoland area. Beautiful morning underway. Temperatures have popped into the mid-60s on average across the area, and basically an increasing cloud cover for the day today. The next weather system is organizing already. Some storms, Kansas City to the Ozarks. That load will track again along the I-70 corridor. So later this afternoon, in particular, a couple of showers and thunderstorms will get going across the area. Again, I think the meat and potatoes of this is mid to late afternoon and in through a couple of rounds of tonight and overnight tonight as well. Apart from that, partly sunny skies to sum it all up. 82 the expected high. Humidity will climb back in as well. Showers and thunderstorms scattered first part of the night. Take a break, come back in after midnight. We'll see overnight lows bottom out into the upper 50s and lower 60s. It'll be a cooler day's worth of weather tomorrow with readings in the 60s, upper 60s at that, with some shower activity and a gusty north
north. Wind anticipated as well. Come Friday, partly cloudy skies, mid to upper 60s, a little bit below average, but then will moderate over the weekend. Saturday high up around 71. There may be a gusty thunderstorm north of Champaign in the afternoon up towards the Kankakee. Otherwise, we're dry for the weekend. Mid 70s on Sunday, mid to upper 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday up near 80. And the next chance of rain is late next week, so we get another window of opportunities, 3 to 4 days to get out there in the backyard, the back 40 or the back 9. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soligan.
All right, thank you very much, Greg. ESPN 93.5. Great to have you listening. I am Stevie Jay. There's Don Ducey. And we have Christy Cool on. Christy, how are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Well, I'm wonderful. Thank you. She's an international speaker and success and mindset coach, passionate about work-life balance. Your personal journey started 10 years ago when you hit all the goals you set out to accomplish in your corporate career, and you said, now what? What now? So here you are, and you're speaking to me. Help me with my mindset, Christy. How can I be more positive, as positive as I believe I am? Man, there's gaps in there, and sometimes negativity. I don't like being around people that are negative. I just don't.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's the formula is a lot easier than most people think. Most people think that it's going to be a lengthy process to have more positivity or to elevate your mindset. But what you just recognized is so critically important, and that's really the basis of it. So you know that when you're around positive people and people that have a similar vibration and energy, you feel better. So stop hanging around negative people.
Well, it's hard because sometimes the people that are in your life that you're going to be around, but it's really it really does matter. There's a thing I do in front of people I once saw in California where I have them close their eyes and hold their arms straight out. And then I talk about the best time of their life. They close their eyes and you can't move them. They feel like tree stumps. You can't move their arms.
Their arms are very firm, sticking straight out.
And I did this with a football player once, and I was a little worried saying this might not work. I said, you just fumbled and people can't stand you, and have the crowd just feel bad. This guy's awful. Yeah. And they came down like feathers. It is and just think about the office or your basketball team or somebody negative. It can drag you down. So if you can avoid all of that, it's helpful. But I'm telling you, I told the kids growing up, I said, choose happy. Just choose happy.
Yeah.
Because you have that choice, right?
Well, and happiness is contagious, and people don't recognize that it's really a secret to getting a lot of things that you want. People want to be around happy, joyful people. And you're right, though. Sometimes you can't limit it. But you can reduce the amount of time that you spend with them.
Yeah. All right, Christy, so what's this thing about a little sabbatical timeout? That doesn't count. That happens in maybe government or academia, but I don't think that counts in private practice stuff, does it?
Well, it's kind of a thing that's been around for a long time in Europe, and ever since COVID, what we're seeing in the trends in the United States is larger corporations are beginning to adopt this and be more open-minded to this. 3% of the working population in the United States did this last year, a sabbatical, a gap year, because they're recognizing that it is a good solution to combating burnout.
Well, I'm sure it is, but how do you do it? Don't you need paid?
Yeah, you sure do. So if you have the money, I would say do it. And if you want the job to come home to that you have currently, everything we're selling all the time, right? You're selling your kids on why they should eat their vegetables. You're selling your kids on why they should be brushing their teeth. Can you put a business case together of what it would do for the overall business and i.e. you to invest in this time if you want to take a break?
Yeah.
So that would be and a lot of HR departments have some sort of policy where they're starting to write policies to respond to these types of requests and provide these opportunities for their people. Now, some people take gap years and they still have income coming in, but it's in a more creative, fun way. So, some people are bartending, some people are doing some freelance work. So you certainly want to make sure you take the time to plan for, do you have everything sorted out? And if not financially, do you need to, pick up some type of work? And what are you going to do for health care and other types of expenses?
Christy, I got to just ask you, here you are, a young woman. I mean, relatively to the world, you're young, but you're done. You did it. I just won the NBA championship. I mean, you lost your why. You're unhappy, unfulfilled, tired, empty. I mean, people these days seem to really need purpose. I have a strong faith. There's my purpose and I feel peace. But how did you come out of that?
Yeah. So, it was interesting that I believe that I'd just begun, really. So, you can look at that. I was making $500,000 a year in the medical device industry, and it was planes, trains, automobiles, and everything on paper looked really good, but my insides were completely empty. And, the real thing at the end of the day, I just interviewed a death doula on my podcast, and I said, what's the number one thing that people think about at the end? And she said they regret. It's regret. It's regret not taking the risk. It's not spending the time with the people, doing the things that you really want to. And so for me, joy and happiness is the goal every single day, to have a balanced nervous system. Now, money's still very important to me. It's a means to an end, and it makes you more who you are. So I don't want you to think that I'm floating around like an autumn leaf and, kumbaya in the field. But I will tell you that my spirit makes it seem that way, right? The energy that I put off is that way. I'm still a go-getter, but I believe in systems, and I believe in organizing your day so that you can have it all. But the mindset shifted, and so now I have a different target that I'm shooting for every day. And if I show up in that great state, magic just happens. And I'm impacting people in the way that I really, truly want to, not in the confines of how some corporation is allowing me to do it.
Yeah, I think that retirement is a myth if you can control the clock. If you have control of your clock, why would you ever retire? But the key is there's no 8-to-5 cubby for 50 years anymore. Nobody will ever do that again. But it's just who can control their time, who can get up and go. And that's what I think this workforce really wants, is flexibility.
No, you're absolutely right. Time freedom really is the goal. And I was just having that same conversation that, go-getter 20-some years old, which was 20-some years ago for me. I want to retire at 55, and now I'm 43, and I'm like, well, what would I do if I didn't have something to go do, right?
Exactly.
This doesn't even feel like work. And that's where I teach a lot of people to really focus. What is your zone of genius? What can you do better than anybody else? And what can you do where the time just flies by and you don't even recognize, that the whole day is gone? If you can find a way to have control of your time and schedule and stay in that zone of genius 70% of the time, you've made it. You're going to feel entirely different. Life is still going to happen. It's still hard. There's still challenges, but we can face them from a different place with grace and ease if that's, where our mind and body is.
Christy Kuhl, KRISTY, there's a podcast, Keep Rising with Christy Kuhl. How can people listen to that?
Yeah, wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, if you just search Keep Rising with Christy Kuhl, you can find that. It's on all the platforms, iHeartRadio, etc. And thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure having you on. People are attracted to energy, and you've got it. So
I took some notes here.
Keep up your good work. We appreciate the positivity and the hope. Thank you so much, Christy.
Well, I have to thank you for it, too. It sounds like you're spreading it on your end, too. And I really believe that the more of it that's out there, we're gonna raise everybody's vibration up a little bit more.
Thank you, Christy. Hope we can chat again sometime.
Likewise. Have a great one.
You as well. Christy Kuhl is her name on the Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5.
Whatever happened with Up With People? We used to kid about that. I know it used to be part of the Super Bowl shows back in the day at halftime. And, we used to sing. I used to sing Up With People in the Unity Choir.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll come up.
With people.
It was a real positive energy.
You go.
Yeah, that's right. I saw him at Unity years ago in the 1970s. You can look Up With People. I'm not doing sports right now.
Oh, you're not?
Cubs win, Cardinals lose.
Okay.
Illinois might play Duke at Madison Square Garden.
Illinois softball against Minnesota in the Big Ten tournament up in Iowa.
Our mobile device provides convenient access to your email, bank, and social media accounts. Unfortunately, it can potentially provide the same convenient access for criminals. The Busey people recommend following several tips. Use the passcode lock on your smartphone and other devices. Log out completely when you finish a mobile banking session. Use caution when downloading apps. Download the updates for your phone and mobile apps. Avoid storing sensitive information. Busey can help you. They can guide you through all this. You can find it online a lot at visit Busey.com/Money Matters. You can get a ton of resources in all this. Busey promises to protect your information and identity by providing practical, effective suggestions for avoiding security issues and scams. Visit Busey.com/Money Matters for further resources. Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC, is that our guy? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go early to Nate Foy. How are you?
I'm good, Stevie. How are you?
Well, good, man. You're doing a great job covering the Donald Trump at the courthouse, except you had to blush during the testimony yesterday. Did you
sorry
not?
about that.
Man.
Man, that was salacious stuff, huh?
I didn't hear anything.
Right, I haven't either.
This is one of those, I'm glad it wasn't on TV because the kids might have seen
Right.
it. I mean, the thing that ran through my head is, what are they doing? I don't understand how this is part of the thing. I mean, what relevance did it have? Did they get objections, or did the judge say anything?
So, yeah, the defense team objected several times, and the judge sided with the defense on many of those objections. But the issue from Trump's perspective is that the jury still heard a lot of these things anyway. So even though the judge sustained the objection, it's not as though the jury never heard these details that, as you mentioned, are unrelated to the charges that Trump faces in the case. You know, he's accused of falsifying business records as part of a conspiracy that prosecutors really haven't detailed exactly what makes it the conspiracy for the underlying charge as far as the intent to defraud the business records. But certainly Trump's team is arguing that getting into the details of the alleged encounter with Stormy Daniels is unnecessary. And while prosecutors were questioning her yesterday, she did provide extreme detail that I won't get into here on your program. But Trump's team asked for a mistrial. They argued that it was prejudicial testimony. And Judge Juan Merchan, interestingly, agreed with them, saying essentially that he thought that the testimony went too far and that it would have been better if many of those things had not been presented to the jury. However, he said that it has not met the threshold for a mistrial yet. But you can bet the Trump team is going to continuously bring this up as an example of him being treated unfairly.
Nate Foy, ace reporter, Fox News Television, standing next to the courthouse Donald Trump trial in New York City, ESPN 93.5.
And this encounter was back in 2006. Wow.
Well, they ratcheted it up to make it past the misdemeanor. Statute of limitations ran out and stuff like this. Anyway, Nate, tell me the demeanor of Stormy Daniels while she was being questioned by the friendlies, and then the cross-examination.
Right.
What happened?
Well, she definitely had a different energy about her during her cross-examination and her direct examination. During the direct examination, when prosecutors were asking her questions, she mentioned later how she met with prosecutors beforehand to essentially rehearse how it would go. She was friendly. She was providing extreme detail, like I mentioned before, to the point where the judge even said before the mistrial was asked for by Trump's lawyers that he thought that they were getting too much into detail and that it wasn't necessary. Then, when Trump's lawyers started questioning Stormy, she was much shorter. Her demeanor changed. She was much more combative. And you mentioned that this alleged encounter happened back in 2006, and then they met several times after that in 2007 as well. But these allegations go back quite some time. However, we sort of followed the timeline to present day throughout the testimony yesterday, and Stormy did not hide her disdain for Trump. She says that she hates him, and she admitted to posting that she would dance down the street if he went to jail. So despite the fact that this allegedly happened, this encounter between them back in 2006, of course, so much has transpired since then. There's a separate lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit, where Daniels has been ordered to pay Trump's legal fees, something that she's not doing, and she said she doesn't intend to pay, she called him an orange turd, a dime, in reference to those legal fees. That was part of the cross-examination by Trump attorney Susan Nicholas yesterday. So they definitely showed that the animosity is fresh, despite the fact that this alleged encounter happened.
Apparently, Stormy was trying to tell a few jokes at the first part of everything when it was friendly. Did the jury react to that, or do you know?
I didn't see any notes about the jury reacting to that. The way that we have it set up is I'm out in front of the camera outside the courthouse all day, and then we have a reporter in the courtroom and then another reporter in the overflow room, and they're sending notes that I'm reading. I didn't see any notes about the jury's reaction, but I can tell you that from what I was told, Daniels presented herself in a way that was very believable. During the cross-examination, she appeared to be genuine and authentic. and coming across as someone who could be trusted. And then during the cross-examination, I mentioned she had a much more combative tone to her answers, and we'll see how that plays with the jury. So much of it is just a guessing game, until we end up getting a verdict.
Sure. Well, and again, no matter what, if he gets convicted, I'm sure it'll be appealed, and that's going to go through all of that, and there's some questionable things. So you stand out there all day. Does anybody hand you a hot dog or anything? How's that work?
So I'm the night reporter, except for this morning. I'm doing the morning and afternoon shift, but we generally have an opportunity to get some dinner at about 7 o'clock, depending on how much the primetime shows are interested in using us. So we have enough time to eat, but it's definitely a fast-paced environment out here, and for 6 hours or so, I'm standing in front of the camera, just hanging on every word that comes out of the courtroom, and then immediately processing it and reporting it to our viewers.
No, that isn't easy, man. What was the movie with William Hurt and
Broadcast News.
Broadcast News, where she's feeding him all the info.
Right.
Nate's got to dissect, just interpret quickly and just go 3, 2, 1, go.
Absolutely.
Ain't that easy, man? It ain't that easy. You're doing great. That's really
thank you.
Compelling stuff. Keep up the good work. Nothing today, and then back tomorrow with more cross-examination with Stormy Daniels, I think, right?
That's right. Yeah, Trump is in Florida today. He'll be back in New York tomorrow. Daniels will continue her cross-examination tomorrow morning at 9:30. And the prosecution has already signaled that they have more questions for her as well. So it should be another busy day of Daniel's testimony tomorrow.
Nate Foy, F-O-Y. Where did you come from before you got to Fox?
I came from Fort Myers, Florida.
I
was at the NBC affiliate down there, and prior to that, I started in Market 206, St. Joseph, Missouri.
Attaboy. We love Missouri. Anyway, doing great now. Keep up your fine work. We'll be chatting again with you, Nate Foy. Keep it going. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Nate Foy is his name, F-O-Y.
Mm-hmm.
Never had him on before.
From New York.
Fox News Television. You could hear the horns going.
That's right.
From the cabbies, maybe, or somebody. Fox Business Minute, a little late, brought to you by Busey.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Shares of social media forum Reddit are sharply higher, up 11% after its upbeat quarter. It added users, and its ad business improved. Though there's a sign high prices are cutting into budgets for restaurants, the parent company of Applebee's and IHOP, Dine Brands Global, says its first quarter earnings and sales saw a larger than expected slump. Though Dine Brands says it has survived many economic cycles and stands by its forecast for the year, shares are down 4%. Shopify, the company that provides software and other services to retailers, says it expects sales growth to slow. Uber shares are lower. It lost money in the recent quarter, dragged down by the settlement of a lawsuit with taxi drivers in Australia and other expenses. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
Interesting people are talking to Will Kane.
I said, what do I call you? I call you Dwayne. I call you The Rock. He said, now that I own it, I can call you The Rock.
Yes, I own it now. You can call me The Rock.
Our next guest needs no introduction. It is Dr. Jordan Peters, my old friend and frenemy, Stephen A. Smith.
What is going on here? I see the Will Kane Show in the background. I see the microphone.
Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com. And get the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
By the way, the documents trial that was supposed to start at the end of the month is off. They've postponed that.
Okay.
That's not going to happen. Jack Smith won't be happy, special prosecutor. But that ain't happening before the election. There's no way. There's too many. He's got the convention in July. You've got to pick a vice president. It's unbelievable. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This thing probably won't wrap up for another couple of weeks, and it'll go to the jury.
In the meantime, I mean, Trump doesn't, do any stumping or
goes out on the weekends. He's out today. But, some people think, well, maybe less is more.
Yeah.
And plus, the judge has threatened Donald Trump with jail time. You should have seen him on The View yesterday. I think they were starting to cry with joy. They want him to go to Rikers Island. Yeah. Good golly.
All right.
The only time I ever see The View is when Fox plays a few clips of it.
Right.
That's it. All right. We've got a Stever program where I, Stevie Jay, give you my money. I'm going to pay for a year of service calls.
Nice.
From Land's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for your air, your heat, your plumbing, You got a sump pump, got a water heater. I can get all that checked out.
On the Orange Club.
It's the Orange Comfort Club, and you want to be part of this. It costs only $49.95 a month, which sounds really good from the standpoint of everything's taken care of.
We'll give you a year's worth of these checkups.
I will do that for you and pay $500 for you.
What do we do?
Text in LANZ if you want to be considered. Obviously, when I'm handing money out, people tend to reply. So go ahead and text LANS 217-359-2255, and you might get a year's help from LANS. Yeah.
Okay.
What else I can do for you? Happy to do it.
Thank you for that, Stevie.
My pleasure. Okay, we're going to break for the news, come back another half hour of the program. You're always welcome to text in. We got that bus trip. It's just going to be a day out.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. We got a great bus, June 22nd. One of those slick motor coaches that are real comfy.
Our bus trip to Busch features the game against the Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants.
It's in the suite, and if you went last year, you've gone on our all-suite trips before. I buy the bus pass, so we park next to the stadium. You go right in. You get the Stan Musial tumbler. We didn't plan that one. That's
I know.
Really,
that's a nice
really good
giveaway.
One. You'll get there a couple of hours before, walk around, get the energy, soak it in, walk in. We'll go up the ramp to our suite. Is right there near the bus. Can't get much easier than that. All the food and beverages are included in our private suite. People really like the fact that it's just us.
I mean, Mother's Day Sunday. Why not treat Mom to this bus trip to Busch June 22nd? Put that in the card. Boom. You're done.
Done. That's all you do.
Awesome.
All right, let us know. Text in bus for that. We'll give you all the details if you'd like. All right, back in just a few moments. Check the news, weather, sports. Greg says some rumble-thumble coming up later today. Mostly showers for Champaign-Urbana, to the south, a little more serious. But we'll keep our eyes on all that for you as well. All right. Back in a moment. It's Wednesday, May 8th, and it's 8:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Police in Washington, D.C. have cleared now a pro-Palestinian protest encampment at George Washington University. There are some clashes, at least 35 arrests reported. Stormy Daniels is back on the stand tomorrow at former President Trump's criminal hush money trial in New York City. Wednesdays are off days.
The adult film actress appeared under oath saying she did have a sexual relationship with the former president, but defense lawyers say that's not what the case is about and called for a mistrial, which was denied. Under cross-examination, Daniels was described as combative during questioning about her feelings on the defendant.
Fox's Gernal Scott. A cruise ship worker is accused of stabbing 3 people with scissors. Arrested in Alaska, he was seen first trying to deploy one of the Norwegian Cruise Line ship's lifeboats. America's listening to Fox News.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars. They're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Here's a look at local news. The Asian longhorn tick is in Illinois. Is the 20th state to discover the invasive species. The tick found April 12th during a routine active tick surveillance in Morgan County. Additional surveillance in the area April 24 discovered 2 additional Asian longhorn ticks which are capable of carrying tick-borne diseases. Federal jury convicting a Champaign woman of conspiracy to distribute meth. Malaya Turner sentenced in September after she was found guilty last Friday. Prosecutors say the government presented evidence Turner transported those drugs to central Illinois. Turner would then distribute the meth to others for a profit in the state. The Illinois Senate advancing a plan that would provide more educational opportunities for younger people serving time in the Department of Corrections. The Senate approved a measure that would require the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice to establish an emerging adult program for prisoners ages 18 to 21. The bill now moves to the House. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim.
This
ESPN
looks really bad. This really looks
Asian
gross.
longhorn
and
tick.
it doesn't have any
Why would you call it longhorn?
I don't know.
There's an Asian longhorn beetle that kills trees.
There is a beetle too, but they must be in the same
Tell
family.
me, Berenbaum, I object. I object, Your Honor. Why would you call an Asian longhorn tick if it doesn't have long horns?
They don't look very much alike either.
She'd kick me out of her class.
Gross.
8:33 weather brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC.
Look at everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday as expected. Most of the severe weather circumventing the area. Back into wet weather mode later on this afternoon in particular. Next weather system up out of the southern plains and scattered showers and thunderstorms begin to break out to our west and southwest late this morning and closer to home this afternoon. 82 the forecast high. Another warm one with more humidity back in and a partly sunny skies. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight, low down to 57. Tomorrow, windy and cooler, mostly cloudy, shower and spots for the morning, more so for the afternoon. Increasing north wind for the afternoon, high to about 67. Showers move out tomorrow night, lows in the 40s. Partly cloudy, 66 on Friday. Could be a shower thunderstorm here late morning or afternoon on Saturday, but few and far between. 72 the high, up to 71 with a dry Sunday. Into the 70s for highs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and dry weather for much of the first half of next week. Scattered showers and thunderstorms late next week and high temperatures back above 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Rochas, Greg Solgay.
Yeah, we do have the cicadas.
Yeah, I just started to look up the cicada map 2024 to find where the broods will be, and because I'm hearing the 13-year and 17-year cicadas that are due to be emerging from the underground and their habitats to eat, mate, and die will be making a whole lot of noise. And then they won't be back until like 22:45 or something. It's crazy.
I don't know what the
That's gonna be so loud.
Yeah, it is.
Ew.
Well, first of all, I hate to tell you, the cicada is 2 inches.
Really?
I mean, you could hit him with a baseball bat.
I haven't. That might be entertaining.
No, but I mean, and I've seen video, and it's just.
They produce these sounds to attract females and establish their territory as they synchronize their calls.
Well, we're supposed to be right in that path, so. But I've seen videos of the stuff piling up at your door, crawling around. Nothing against Lake of the Woods, but you might want to hang low, taking a walk when
I've
they're
heard
here.
Muhammad. I was just trying to pull up the map, but I heard Muhammad is going to get.
Well, I mean, Muhammad, they're
hit hard
attracted.
or
They
whatever.
go to the trees. So
Okay.
guess what Lake of the Woods has?
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, that's coming. Okay, so there apparently is a situation in Urbana. The News Gazette is reporting a hostage situation this morning in Urbana. An early morning hostage situation involving an armed suspect has brought an East Urbana neighborhood, which is 10 miles from us, 8 miles from us.
Okay.
Brought an East Urbana neighborhood to a standstill. 4 a.m. today, Urbana police officers responded to a possible hostage situation, 700 block of Sunny Lane. Isn't that about Candlestick Lane?
It is.
Officers were able to make contact with a female who had reported the incident, secured her safety, and isolated the residence located north of East Washington. Yeah, that's right there.
Mm-hmm.
As Metro SWAT focuses on the barricaded suspect, pedestrian and vehicular traffic is being limited in the area of the 5, 6, and 700 blocks of Sunny Lane in Urbana. Those needing to leave the area should contact METCAT at 911 or call the 217-333-8911. Urbana police ask that anyone who has additional information can call them. They'd appreciate that. 217-384-2320. Arrangements can be made for information to be shared privately. Anyone wishing to remain anonymous may also submit tips to Crime Stoppers at 217-373-TIPS. This is what we have so far.
Approximately 4 a.m., a SWAT closes down area in Urbana after early morning hostage situation, says the headline.
Right here in our town,
Mm-hmm.
so don't know what's happening, but that's what we have so far. The News Gazette reporting that this morning. Okay, 8:38. We'll get a sports headline one more time. The Cubs feel like they're really good. The Cardinals apparently are not right now. Anyway, it's so hard. One of my favorite players ever is Paul Goldschmidt, and he is so good at baseball. And something's happened. He just
went there, bases loaded when I was listening yesterday. And did he strike out?
Yeah, he struck out 3 times. I don't. And Jim Edmond, the great Cardinal center fielder, had talked to, and they told us on the TV that Paul didn't have the same feel. He's not feeling what he normally feels at the plate, and he is 0 for his last 24 at bats, and that's never happened to him. Man. So I really like it.
It's horrible when a ball player goes through one of these slumps.
And he when he hits it hard, he hits it right at somebody. That's what happens.
Yes.
When you're really down, and Nolan Gorman's having the same kind of issues, but Nolan's 23. I mean, he's still so young. Right. He was here when he was 19 at the Cardinal Caravan.
Mm-hmm. But I was hearing when Harrison Bader was up to bat. Now, he's a New York Met now, right?
Yep, Harrison Bader. He was on the pregame yesterday with Mike Claiborne.
Okay.
But Dylan Carlson returned for the Cardinals after being injured, and he hasn't gotten a hit in the whole weekend, I don't think. And then Tommy Edman's out.
I know.
We need Tommy Edman.
I know.
He may be back at the end of the month, maybe. But and then you lose your absolute best player for 2024 so far is Wilson Contreras. And that was so hard to watch. But Wilson got too close to the batter, J.D. Martinez, who swung the bat and hit him right on the forearm wrist area, and it fractured his arm. And so that's probably months. Wouldn't it be months?
Right.
That's his left arm that catches all the balls. So, I mean, that's going to be – he was writhing in pain. So Wilson Contreras is out.
He's 31.
He's out for months. So that's a huge hit for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was the best hitter we had.
Fractured forearm is what this headline
says. Imagine
says.
A major league hitter swinging full strength with his bat, swinging at the ball. Wilson got too close and got hit. And he got to take the batter got to go to first as a catcher interference.
Oh, really?
So not only did he fracture his forearm, he's the guy got on. Anyway, it was too
Let
bad.
off the
hard
field
to watch.
by trainers for an X-ray.
No, he was. I said
revealed a fracture in Contreras' left forearm.
Yeah, that's going to be a while. So the Cardinals, it does not look very good for St. Louis again this year. So we'll see. Maybe somebody steps up. But
I heard some cracking. I knew it was bad.
As soon as you saw it, it's one of those moments you're going, he's done. You're just done. And,
likely surgery on his arm in the coming days. Doctors told him he'll likely need at least 6 to 8 weeks to recover.
That's August.
Targeting the All-Star game as a potential return.
Maybe. I hope so. But will it matter by then? You got to get in the race. And Cardinals struggling. Hey, good news. Sonny Gray pitches today. We'll have it on radio. That'll be on the air at 11:40 pregame. And Sonny Gray is an all-star. Sonny Gray could start for the all-star game. So far, he's been terrific. So he'll be fun to listen to because he is really good. The Cardinals got a real ace there. 8:41.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Looking for a place to host a corporate meeting, intimate gathering, or a large-scale celebration? If so, the University of Illinois Alice Campbell Alumni Center offers the perfect space and staff to make your function a success. A few rooms offered at the center include the Elegant Ballroom, the Richmond Family Gallery, and the Premier and Professional Executive Boardroom. For more information on renting a space at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, visit uiaa.org/alumni-center or call 1-800-355-2580. Go Illini.
When the attack of the cicadas hits, how do my little 8-pound doggies go potty?
Right, I'm
they're not
getting
going to go outside because
a picture from my niece's house in Nashville about look at their little yellow eyes, and it's all over her porch.
But they'll make a mess when you step on them.
Right,
They're
and
big.
for Mother's Day. You know, the crunching with the nice shoes and things like that.
I just in my life, of course, how many have I lived to? 2 or 3 of these? 2, 3? Anyway, I don't remember crunching a cicada.
Well, these are like every 200 years or something.
I thought it was every 17.
Well, they're called 13 and 17-year cicadas, but
we got them at the same time. But I'm just saying, I don't remember 2-inch bugs. I don't remember that ever in my life.
Right. I mean,
maybe it's not so bad
like
here.
A biblical plague or something is coming our way.
That was locusts. Aren't they locusts and cicadas?
It's the same family, isn't it?
I have no idea. Where's May Berenbaum when you need her?
I have reached out to her,
What the heck?
and we need her, as soon as early next week, I think, is when things start emerging from the ground.
Entomologist business is up and working now. All right, we'll check a quick check of our sports.
New York Mets over the St. Louis Cardinals 7-5. Sonny Gray on the mound, 12:15 start here on ESPN 93.5. I didn't look up the San Diego Padres and Cubs game today.
I think it's a day game.
I think it's a day game too, and that's typically a 1:20 start over on US 105.9. But Cubs came out on top 3-2 yesterday. I know you're looking that up, but I want to hear that Michael Busch hit from the bottom of the ninth because that really saved the day.
Michael Busch leads off the bottom of the ninth inning. Here's the pitch. A swing and a drive. Deep right center. It's got a chance. Cubs win the ball game. Michael Busch, a game-winning home run. Listen to this crowd.
Yeah, it was a big hit. And by the way, they do play at 1:20 on US 105.9. Back that up to 12:50 for pregame Cubs and Padres from Wrigley Field.
All right, so the Diane Ducey Show following Big D and Bubba, nominated for the National Radio Hall of Fame. They are going to be, we're going to play the country music until 12-something, and then the Cubs. Yep. We have Tampa Bay over the Chicago White Sox 5-1. Iowa City is where the Big Ten tournament is happening for our number 12 seed Illini softball team taking on number 5 seed Minnesota. Also trending in the sports world is what's happening with our Kentucky Derby winners, in the sense that Mystic Dan, they've got until Monday to decide, but he might not, go on to the Preakness. And actually, the last 5 out of 6 years, they've not had a Triple Crown option because the horse owners have, for one reason or another, or maybe this is the Bob Baffert and the doping and all of that factored in there too, because he wasn't able to be involved in any of the horse racing stuff this year. Let's see, the roast of Tom Grady I have on my notes here. I know that he did interrupt comedian Jeff Ross and said, don't say that again, in a worse way than that.
It was Robert Kraft, a massage joke or something.
About the New England Patriots owner, but interesting to have the person being roasted actually step up to the comedian and say, hey, take it down a notch.
Yeah. 8:46.
A slap of the bat, high fives at the plate. They're all celebrated at Pia's Sports Bar and Grill after the game. Super beer specials, great drinks, big screen TVs, and fun food all await you at Pia's. Whether it be Pia's delicious wings, the big pork tenderloin, or Pia's famous Grand Slam or Slugger Burger, you'll find all your favorites available until 11 p.m. Chill out at Pia's in the beer garden and enjoy being served by a great staff. See you at Pia's, Springfield and Mattis, Champaign.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
How's the Farmer City Raceway doing?
Oh my goodness, it's going to be fun as you take Mom out on Friday, May 10th. And the Blager Concrete Farmer City 74 has a $25,000 prize for the Lucas Oil late models and a $2,000 prize for the modifieds and the kids mods. It's going to be a great time. Farmer City Raceway on Friday night.
So we'll get everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, event and vicinity, and warmth and humidity. The story for the day today and the next weather system on the move out of the Ozarks up through the Ohio. Probably the best likelihood of severe weather and very heavy rainfall to our east and south. Nonetheless, scattered showers, thunderstorms break out late morning, more so this afternoon. Partly sunny, up to about 82 on a south wind. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms early, a break, and then back in after midnight. Lows down to 57. Tomorrow, windy, turning cooler, mostly cloudy skies. Still a couple of showers around for the morning and afternoon. Highs up to 67 and a gusty north wind for the afternoon. Clearing off late tomorrow night, lows in the 40s. Partly cloudy, 66 on Friday. Start of a drier trend for the weekend through a good part of next week, with readings up to about 72 and an afternoon shower thunderstorm chance on Saturday. Dry Sunday at 71. We're in the mid-70s next Monday and heading close to 80 degrees next Tuesday and Wednesday. Next chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms would be late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Okay, we appreciate you listening this afternoon on The Drive. It'll be Lon Tay and Derek Piper.
Yes.
That'll be the menu for today, and they'll talk probably more about Fighting Illini. We're going to play Duke in Madison Square Garden. It's not official, but it sounds like it. Going to be real close. And so we have a lot of non-conference. How do you schedule that? You want power, you want some good games, but you got to win.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you don't schedule 10 Dukes.
Right.
Even though that's going to make you better.
Uh-huh.
But I tell you what, we got 6 new guys coming in on top of Ty Rogers and Dre Gibbs Longhorn. But I've got to get a couple more. I mean, 2 or 3, 2. Anyway, it's always interesting, and we have teams just like last year. Who's Quincy Gary?
Right.
Who's that? And who's Marcus who? We got to know them.
They just came together.
We got to know them and love them pretty quickly.
Our Elite 8 Illini.
Yeah,
I've been slipping Stevie on my text line here. 19-year-olds protesting issues. They don't even compare to the 19-year-olds of yesteryear storming the beach in Normandy.
Oh, boy. You can't. Yeah. Could you wrestle up 19-year-olds even, or would they go to Canada? We have a bunch of 19-year-olds that are patriotic enough to do that. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't either.
But yeah, we have evolved, and I'm not so sure it's for the better. Some ways it is. Some ways it isn't. But I just don't think we're as tough as those folks.
Well, and I've heard recruitment for the military is harder, and they send people off to a camp to get more fit, to be able to fit the requirements.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that join love their country, but they're also probably looking for direction, and they think they know they'll get more discipline in their life, and that's true. But no, it's we've evolved, and we've just got to hold on to what has been a real human experiment of bringing people together and being the same. It's a work in progress. All right, thank you.
Hear the show anytime, StevieJay.com. Enjoy your day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Certainly appreciate you very much. Back tomorrow. John Decker will highlight the program. Our ace former Fox News, Gray Television White House correspondent tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Wednesday.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Escape the ordinary and embark on an unforgettable adventure with Stevie J Travel with Larry and Elena Kemper. Hi, it's Stevie J. Picture yourself aboard a small yacht departing from the enchanting city of Dubrovnik, Croatia. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of the Adriatic Sea, you'll set sail toward the captivating Dalmatian Islands. Over 10 magnificent days, immerse yourself in the Mediterranean lifestyle where every moment is a celebration of beauty and tranquility. Explore hidden coves, swim in crystal clear waters, and stroll through seaside villages. With Stevie J Travel, every detail is taken care of, from luxurious accommodations to delectable onboard dining experiences. Relax on deck as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. This is more than a cruise. It's a journey of discovery and delight. Escape to paradise with Stevie J Travel. Visit StevieJTravel.com. That's StevieJayTravel.com for details. Your Mediterranean adventure awaits.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
The average American throws away almost 5 pounds of trash per day, half which ends up in a landfill. At 2 Men and a Junk Truck, when we pick up your unwanted furniture, appliances, trash, and office equipment, we make it a priority to divert those items from your local landfill. 2 Men and a Junk Truck, looking for partners that share our vision of environmental responsibility. If you and your organization can reuse, upcycle, recycle some of these items, we would love to work with you. Contact us at 2menandajuncktruck.com. We want to make room for what matters most. Hey, could you tell me what aisle your car batteries are in? Sure, I'll go grab one for you. Here's your battery. It might be expired, but oh well. Also, the brand isn't that great, but it should work for at least a year or two, maybe. Anyways, I went ahead and charged you for it, and here's the battery. Okay, have a great day.
What just happened?
Sometimes good things are hard to find, but they're worth the wait. Make the trip out to Interstate All Battery Center at 2504 North Madison Avenue and get all of your battery needs taken care of by the trusted professionals. Give them a call today at 355-4855.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states.